Hey there, and welcome to my Scream Factory collection overview. But before we get into that, I gotta say that I've always been a big collector from VHS and to DVD, and I grew up in the 80s. To let you know exactly how ancient I am and how far I've been following the wars between the different formats and the films and movies that I'm watching. I was born in 1971. So I was literally just at the right age when horror had its big boom in the 80s. Because basically what happened was all of a sudden the movies that we would wait all year long to see, and it's really hard for to understand right now if you're younger and you're used to getting yourself in the internet or digital. But back then we had to wait usually till Halloween time came around, or stay up late at night and hope that there was like some kind of like festival thing or some late night movie showing of a horror film. So all of a sudden the 80s come by and VHS comes in. Now, before that there had been CEDs, but they were really expensive to even rent. I remember it was like it took a lot of money to rent some on my birthday one year. And one of them was Friday the 13th, and the other one was the original Clash of the Titans. So when VHS came around, all of a sudden people could film in VHS as well, and it became easier to get horror movies to the mass market. And all of a sudden, good or bad, we had a lot of influx of especially horror, because horror sold well. And it got to the point where here in Canada we gave grants for people making horror films because we knew those films would make money. And so the 80s was a very exciting time for me, and for even to be able to watch movies that came out before, I'll see them suddenly released on VHS. Movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, movies like Black Christmas, and just to finally see those movies kind of coming to light. And we never really had another resurgence like that until, well, last year Scream Factory started up. And if you were a collector of horror films and you knew a lot of these like ones that you really want to kind of like cheesy cool stuff, then hearing about Scream Factory was probably a big deal for you. They announced it, and I got to look here on Wiki because I can't remember that far back, and it's not that long ago. On March 31st of 2012, it was announced, and by September 18th, 2012, the first Scream Factory Blu-ray and DVD came out. And if you were a collector and you'd watched the decline of Anchor Bay and the kind of pretty good but not always great quality from Blue Underground, and you knew that Arrow Video was around and you could get some stuff from there, but they'd seem to be going in a different direction than you wanted to, or that I wanted to, especially when they started bringing out Troma stuff, which I would only buy from Troma anyway. But they came, and I became extremely excited, and it became a big time for me as a collector. So I'm going to shut up, we're going to start the video, and we're going to look at my Scream Factories that I got, and I'm going to tell you what I think of them, yay or nay. There's probably going to be not many nays, but there's ones that I don't have, and I'll mention those as we go along, the ones that aren't in my collection. And I'll let you know why, whether I just didn't get them or whether I don't want them. And the first release for Scream Factory was Halloween 2. Actually, there's two of them, Halloween 2 and Halloween 3. They were the very first releases, and yes, I picked them up on the opening day. It was kind of like that excitement you get from going to a movie that you really wanted to see for the first time. Well, Halloween 2 and 3 were like that for me. Having these on Blu-ray were great. Halloween 2, of course, had been on Blu-ray, but it wasn't a very good... there's no features. It just had the extra movie, which I'm going to get for that movie alone. But not for Halloween 2. To see the special features that were placed on these films it is mind-blowing. To be a genre fan and to watch your stuff just come alive like this, it's incredible. Halloween 2 actually came with the not just the regular theatrical cut, but it came with the television cut as well, and that was a very big bonus, because I remember back in the day on VHS having to go out and look for it and buy the television cut on its own. And plus there's that big, black box one there with the orange tapes, if you remember. You guys remember that one? When Anchor Bay actually did stuff. Now, this here was kind of like letting you know how Scream Factory was going to go. There was commentaries like crazy, special features, interviews, Horror's Hallowed Grounds, which has become a very important part of these Scream Factory releases and something that people look forward to. You got still galleries, alternate endings, theatrical trailers. Just it was filled with stuff. Same thing with this one here. And the documentaries had people talking honestly about the films, which is really cool. Halloween 3 gets raked over the coals a lot. And you know what? They don't say, oh, we went out and we made this perfect film. They talk about Halloween 3 and they talk about it flaws and all. And Scream Factory tends to do that a lot. And I really appreciate the fact that they don't mind actually saying, okay, I like this, I didn't like this. When Jamie Lee Curtis talks on The Fog, she's not just there blowing smoke up her asses about like how great these films were. She's honest. Next up was the Funhouse, which I did pick up on DVD because in my area, this only came out on DVD until like about 3 months ago, and then the Blu-ray showed up here. But I'm not sure if I want to upgrade to that. I really like the sticker on these. Here, the early ones had these yellow stickers on them. Not all of them do now. Actually, not many of them do now, but when they started out, these yellow stickers were kind of like a Scream Factory. One way you could tell it was Scream Factory, like with the big sticker with the killer Scream Factory exclusives. And I think some people took these out, but I think it's part of the Scream Factory legacy. It's something you should keep on. I like this one. It's a cool little film. And again, not as much was on this one. There's a cool audio commentary. There's a couple interviews, and it's an audio interview with William Finley, of course, and a theatrical trailer, TV spots, and more. And I don't remember what the "and more" is, but usually when they say more, it's good, and when they say "and much more," it's oh my god good. Next up was Terror Train, and Terror Train was one that I had to get because if you watch my videos, you know this has personal and deep meaning for me. So I'm a slasher fan. This one scared me when I was young. I've spoken many times about why this scared me. It was nice to see that this one had had interviews on here. I was kind of disappointed that it didn't have a commentary, but I found out later on that there was a reason behind that they couldn't get they had a commentary set up and they couldn't get them to do it, so they had to end up taking the commentary out. But they put in more interviews because of that. And next up is the one that a lot of people started on. It's actually the 5th Scream Factory release, but if you ask a lot of people, it's their first Scream Factory buy. And it kind of blows me away because there's such great stuff before that. But I kind of get it. This was like probably, aside from the Halloweens, was one of the most mainstream kind of ones that people have been longing for a long time. And when they realized that Scream Factory was putting out this type of stuff, they went out and people started buying it because that's when they knew Scream Factory was extremely serious about getting out stuff that they've been wanting for a long time. And that's They Live. And yeah, I still got the buy sticker though, got torn there a bit, unfortunately. Commentary, interviews, making ofs, theatrical trailer, TV spots, and more. And by the way, every one of these has a alternate cover on the inside. They Live is a great release. The first one is not totally horror. Next up was one that they started to experiment a bit with their stuff, and they wanted to put out some more stuff that was rare, and they knew they couldn't put the time into those they couldn't put like all those extras into those that they put into some of the early collector's editions and stuff like that, but they still have audio commentaries and still make sure that the transfers and stuff were good, but they would be more like ones that needed to get out there. They wouldn't be slip covered, and that would be ones like Death Valley. And Death Valley was an incredible film that I really liked, one of those 80s films that I thought I would never ever find on a DVD or Blu-ray. And to find this one out, get a Blu-ray DVD combo pack of this one, was incredible for me. I really love this movie. And the other one that came out with this one that also I think had even less features, I don't think it even had anything on it, maybe it had commentary, I don't think so, was The Island. And The Island is a decent film, but it's not one that I would pick up unless I got it for extremely cheap. It's kind of slow, and it's not one of my favorites, and I'll get it down the road, but it's not going to be something I'm going to get anytime soon. Next up was one that I think is extremely underrated, and if you don't have this in your collection, I really do recommend it. And The movie is Deadly Blessing. It's a Wes Craven film, and a lot of people didn't know this one here, but he did incredible work with this film. There's some great actresses in this one here. Early Sharon Stone. Of course, we got the girl from Battlestar Galactica, the original series, in here as well, as you can see. And Susan Buckner, of course, from Grease fame. We have Lisa Hartman, of course, was famous for, well, back in the day for soap operas and stuff like that. And she was a singer as well. Lois Nittleman is in there. We've got Ernest Borgnine. And, of course, there you see right there, yes it is. He uses him in a lot of movies. He's got Michael Berryman in here in a different role. And I got to say, it's one that I really enjoy. At the time, again, this was the only way to get it, was on DVD. Although I do like this one here. This is one that I would double dip on and get the Blu-ray down the road because I just think it's a really cool release. Next up is one that I didn't get, and that movie is called The Nest. And as I mentioned in Moods 616 once before, I've got a phobia with insects. So that's one that I just couldn't pick up, especially ones with cockroaches and stuff like that. I just can't do it. And yeah, but that's one of them. But I did grab the next one because it's a favorite of mine from when I was younger. The special effects are cool. Some people find this kind of slow right now, but I really like to start work on this. I enjoy the film. I think it's really well done, and that's Prison. Prison was a great one. This one did have a dual cover. I like this one. This cover actually better, the original cover, than the. It's probably one of the lesser in the artworks that they did. I think there's probably a slip for this, but I didn't get it on my copy, and it's been really hard. This one was a really hard one to find. Prison was really hard to get around here. The only one's hard was Body Bagged, which never ever did make it. Next up was their first double feature, and this is what got me excited about the double features. Is that first I thought they were going to do it like they did with the Island stuff and just give you 2 movies, and that will be it. But man, did he prove me wrong with that. First, they put out this kick-ass looking double feature here with TerraVision and the video dead on it. And not only that, but look at this. Can you see the features? All that, that's all features. Great stuff. Documentaries for TerraVision, audio commentaries on the video dead, and like multiple audio commentaries on the video dead. You know, some cool interviews and stuff like that, some behind-the-scenes stuff. They could have easily put this out because these are little-known films, and said, hey, look, we're putting these 2 films out together on a double feature. We'll give you a trailer, and that's it. And they didn't do that. They went the extra mile, and that's what I like about Scream Factory. And I'm going to stop right here. And we're going to pick this up in my next video, and I'll look at some of the other ones. And I'm going to go through, as we're going through, I'm going to let you know the ones that I didn't pick up in a while, like I did with The Nest. And I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you're still watching in the next ones. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. And let me know down below which ones you got, which ones you don't have, and do a video response. I really love those things. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'm going to go drink my tea with this uploads now because it is time for tea.